What's up, everyone? Irrigation Farmer back today. Today we're going to work on the strip tiller. See how that goes. So you might remember last year I did have a video of this on my YouTube channel about the strip tiller. Well, let's go into a little detail of what it actually is and why we use one. So, strip tiller. Like you can see, there's a gap every so often. So the strip tiller, what it's going to do is it's going to only till every 30 inches where you plant the corn and leave the rest alone. Why is that important? Well, you can keep residue, you can keep your organic matter alone. Basically, you're just leaving a part of the field as is. So it's a transition between full tillage and no-till. You kind of get a little benefit of both, so we like it. It works out pretty good. We can put our fertilizer down. You can see these tubes here. That's fertilizer tubes that go down into, down here, into the shank, which will put your fertilizer in the ground. The reason we put the fertilizer into the ground is it's more efficient for the plant itself. You can put it in a band, single location, that the root zone can get into and grab right away. If you broadcast fertilizer on top of the soil, you're going to lose some just because of environmental issues. And then also, the root might not be able to get all that fertilizer that's going to be kind of randomly placed across the soil. So with this, we're putting it right beneath the soil, or the roots, so it's going to grow down into it. So just so you guys understand how this machine works. So the beginning here, what we have is a coulter blade. And what it's going to do is it's a single blade, big blade, big. It's just going to cut the soil residue, cut a nice slit, cut any trash, corn stalks. It goes through everything. This is a cleaner that's going to clean that trash. So once it cuts here, it's going to hit this and just move off to the side. That way, we have a nice clean zone for the planting to go on. This is your shank. This is going down anywhere from 6 to 12 inches. The nice thing about the Gladiator, is this a very easily adjustable shank. You just take this off, drop it down. It can go down 12 inches or 6 to 12 inches, depending on how deep you want this in the ground. We don't pull it at 12 inches because we don't have the horsepower and we don't have the reason to. But it would take a lot of horsepower to pull that all the way down 12 inches. So we usually run about 6 to 8 inches. That works great for us. So then there's fertilizer that's going to come out right here. It's going to come out at the bottom of this boot. This part is just to kind of help clean it, berms it a little bit too. So you can adjust these to change your berm depth and also your berm height. So if you wanted a really big berm for the corn to plant onto, you could adjust it, or maybe a nice smooth one. This part right here is just it just kind of finalizes the berm. It gets rid of any big clods and just it kind of pulverizes that soil there. But again, you're only going to have this happen, it's about an 8 to 10 inch strip every 30 inches. So we're going to have a gap here that nothing is happening. So what we're doing today to get ready, you can see this is really loose, so I just need to tighten this bolt here. And what you want to see, I think this one's good, is it's just not really, this is just a movable part, but the actual bolt here is tight. So we want to make sure to change that. Kind of check fertilizer hoses, things along those lines. We'll eventually run the pump, make sure that it's working. But just little things here and there. This one's pretty easy going. It's pretty low maintenance. It's a Gladiator Coon, I believe. Cross is the name. Boom. Yeah, so just little things we're going to do to it. Get it ready to go. The other nice thing about this strip tiller is you can put fertilizer on, like I talked about earlier. So this machine used to have anhydrous on it. That's why you see a bunch of old tubes we left on just in case we decide to go back, which I hope we never do. Anhydrous is kind of nasty stuff. It's dangerous and hazardous, so you have to be very careful with it. So personally, just for safety, I'm glad we switched over, and also for soil health, I think it's better to not use anhydrous for various reasons. But so what we went with is a liquid system. So this is your pump itself, and then this is your hose line, which will actually, which will attach to our tractor there, which has our tanks on the side of fertilizer. So it goes into this pump, and the pump goes into this, which goes into each line, which you follow down into the boot and into the soil. Really nice system, very, very clean, as long as you have leaks. We usually put 3200, which is a nitrogen fertilizer. Some guys will put phosphorus down. Sometimes you do blends. It just depends what your soil needs and what it calls for. But again, it's a lot more efficient to do it this way than the broadcast. So you get to do 2 passes with 1 pass with this machine. All right, so as you can see, this one's pretty loose. So I have to take off all these bolts here. Hopefully you can see them. Let's get that in real fast. All right, so we gotta take off all these bolts here, which will take off this coulter, or fluted coulter, I think it's called. And then I can get to this bolt on the other side. Don't have to mess with the bearing. It's enclosed bearing, which is really nice. So we'll go ahead and take these off and then tighten it up and go through all the, I think there's 16 of them, so see if there's any other loose ones. So as you can see, there's just a bolt on both sides, and this part itself is just pretty loose. So I just need to tighten that up and then put the coulter flute back on. Just trying to get this nice and tight. It's better, but not quite tight enough. And they say if you grunt, that definitely adds a little bit more torque to it, so you know, gotta get your good grunting in there. Just like that. And it still spins and doesn't have the wiggle. So that's what we want to see. So I'll put this back on and then keep going. Now you look, again, this wobbles, but this doesn't. Spins good. One down. I don't know how many to go. Let's do it. All right, well, got it all done, at least for the flutes. They're all tightened. And this last one I just did, again, no wiggle room, turns. Of course this wiggles because this, but just don't want this bolt loose. So I do always like to wear gloves though. These can be sharp, and when you're trying to grab onto them hard, you can cut yourself pretty easily. So it's always important. Try to wear gloves when you're working on stuff, and like stuff like that kind of gets everywhere. So, but hey, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. Hopefully soon this will be running if we have water. If not, then maybe planting. I don't know. We'll see what we're doing. But a little bit more to do to this, just with the plumbing and stuff. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, subscribe. Really helps me out. So thanks, guys. Have a good one.